Through 4 rounds, Kawasaki's Tyler Rattray is setting the pace in the battle for the 2011 AMA Championship.
And he will extend it with a big win here at Bud Street.
The likable South African is striving for an American championship to go along with the world title already on his resume. With 1/3 of the season in the books, the series gets set to reach new heights as the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship comes to Lakewood, Colorado.
We're just outside of Denver, Colorado. The Mile High City's hosting this round 5 of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, the Toyota Trucks Thunder Valley National in Lakewood, Colorado. Hello everyone, Jason Wygant, joined by 4-time AMA National Champion Jeff Emig for Speed's continuing coverage of the 250 class. Great racing as always in this division. We'll give you some of the storylines that we're going to follow as we look at our big picture from Thunder Valley. Now in this class, it's supposed to be all about the big, expensive, high horsepower bikes, but instead we've got a privateer making noise. Darren Durham has had some breakthroughs the last couple of weeks, battling for a podium finish. Maybe today will be the race that he gets it. And we're racing in the Rockies. All this elevation means a whole lot less horsepower for the bikes, and it's going to be a whole lot harder to breathe if you're an athlete trying to complete a motocross race. So we'll keep an eye on that all day long. Dean Wilson has been looking for his first overall victory this year. He starts today off well as the fastest rider in timed practice. So Jeff Emig, this 250 class is always topsy-turvy, all sorts of mixed up. What do you think we have in store for us today?
Well, a lot of struggle right now. The engines are going to struggle to make horsepower. The riders are going to struggle to keep their fitness up. And it all has to do with this 6,100 feet above sea level elevation that we have.
Let's send it down to Aaron Bates for the Progressive pre-race report. Aaron?
Amateurs seem to come pretty easy for the number 37 of Darren Durham, but 3 years ago when he turned pro, he quickly realized that he is in store for a very determined and hardworking route. He said coming into amateurs, one thing, turning into pro, he's got no nutritionist, no coach, no trainer, so he's been picking things up along the way and applying them onto his game. We caught up with the underdog to find out what it's like to now be on the radar.
Yeah, we're on a low budget team, you know, it's just, we got some bikes from Morgantown Power Sports, and you know, we pop them up and go racing. It's tough. It's like a long learning thing. You know, there's a lot to win in pro races where there's not a lot to win in amateur races. So, you know, I finally got it figured out, and I think I can win some races now.
What a performance by the 37 of Darren Durham. Got a lot of experience on the track at High Point because he grew up racing here, but it is a whole different story when you're at the very, very top level of the game, and he is pulling away from the best 250 riders in the world. This is an amazing performance.
High Point was awesome. I don't know, man, I got a good start, and I knew where to start, knew where to line up, so I just picked the gate and went as fast as I could for as long as I could until the nerves got me, and then, but I don't know, it'll be good. I think I can do it again here, hopefully this weekend. Those PC bikes are good, so it's tough to beat them, but I'm trying hard, and I'm going to try to get it done before the end of the year. This whole year I've had a lot more confidence than I used to, and that's, I think, been a big key. And I don't know, it's just kind of going to the gate knowing that where you belong and getting there.
Well, amazing breakthrough for Durham, and he was strong earlier today in our first moto. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment, but first we'll explain why we have a first moto and a second moto. It's the 411 on Motocross. We race twice every weekend, 40 riders in each moto, 30 minutes and 2 laps the duration. We combine the scores to determine an overall winner for the weekend. Let's give you an idea what this track is like with our track map. Jeff, take us for a lap.
Well, uphill start. 250Fs are going to struggle. They actually normally start in second gear. They'll go down to first gear here. Up some hills, down some hills. The second moto, this track is going to be so grueling. The ruts and the turns are so deep. Sun started to creep to the west over the mountain, so it might be shaded in some spots. It's going to be really rough, especially down around this sweeper that we have right here. And there'll be 10 lines going into this tight 180 left-hander. Come through this Lucas Oil section where the riders get a chance to rest over some big tabletops. Struggle to make an uphill triple before the finish, and then through the Makita Mechanics area.
Here's what it looks like with our GoPro Hero onboard cam. Take us around here with Kyle Cunningham.
Huge triple jump. And watch what he does here. Sitting first practice, see how he's fighting for a dry line way around the outside. Any mistake, he'll be off in the fence. And this soft section right here, Lots of lines in this track. It's going to be tough, but track has dried out considerable amount from here in practice.
First moto is already complete here in the 250 class. Let's show you the highlights of that one. There's that uphill start, first gear. Now they're finally going to be able to grab second. And Justin Barcia going to lead them in there on the number 17 and also lead them out. So Barcia is your early leader. And trouble for a lot of riders. Martin Davalos had bike problems. He'd go to the pits, get that thing fixed, come back out.
And then also watch right here, this is Cunningham. He had another problem, engine stalls, couldn't get it going. So 2 riders out with mechanicals.
Barcia still leading, but he's got company from his buddy, the number 15 at Dean Wilson. No love lost between these two, and Wilson will take the lead from Barcia.
And Wilson would have it for a while, but then it would be his teammate that was going to, Blake Baggett makes the move on Barcia, and then eventually is going to put the move on his teammate. Watch this pass here as he squares him up, goes to the inside, draws a shorter line, and he just would check out from there.
Barcia messed up here in these ruts and went tumbling downhill. He lost a lot of time. We get shoved back toward the back of the top 10. Blake Baggett holds on to win. He was good in round 1, round 3, and now round 5. So he's the odd round god. Now what about this man, the 15 of Dean Wilson? Here's your Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com keys to the race. What does he need to do to finally get that win today?
This Scotsman is so determined to win. I talked to him this week. He's got to get the start. He's got to battle hard, and he's got to fight for that overall. Baggett had a little edge on him, but I tell you, he can make up the difference just in pure determination here in the second moto. So let's see what these riders dish out. And you notice you got Paluzzi, you got Stewart, all the best guys right here on the line.
That's what we like to hear. It should be a heads-up battle. Who's going to take it?
Quick gate drop.
Nico Rizzi all the way on the inside. Tried that in the first moto. Gets a pretty good start, but it's Barcia going to lead them again with Baggett right next to him. But Justin Barcia on the 17 Geico Honda has the lead. Baggett and Eli Tomac finally has a good start. The Colorado native moving up to second, and about half of the field in a big yard sale here. Bikes piled up everywhere. Cunningham and Davalos, bad luck in Moto 1. They are down in that pile.
That looks like Vincent actually on the Geico Honda. And here they go. There's lots of water on the track, a bit slippery. Barcia may give up the lead to Baggett, and that is bad news for the competition.
No, you do not want to give Baggett a good start. He's normally strong coming through traffic. Although he did have the early lead in our second race of Freestone in Texas, and it didn't work out for him. So we'll see if that changes it up. You're right, Vincent is third. Then it is 15 of Wilson. There's Tomac. So Tomac has gone backwards here. Didn't have the start like I thought he did. Meanwhile, Baggett trying to hold off Barcia.
Barcia, let's see if this outside works for him, if he can cut. Now he funnels right in line right there, and you notice how the ruts are really dark. The sun is starting to set to the west over the top of the mountain to our left here, up on top there. And as this moto goes on, those ruts get shadowed. You don't know if it's 6 inches deep or 16 inches deep, but sections like this coming down through here, notice the riders just tiptoeing, standing on the pegs.
That's Ryan Sipes on the outside of the 25. He's battling with Vincent for third as well as Wilson. On the left, that's Sipes. Hasn't scored any points this year due to some bad luck, some crashes, some injuries. He's back in action today and has a good start in this second moto.
I'll tell you, Jason, as we watch the riders funnel through here, need to find out where Rattray is, our points leader coming in.
Yeah.
Had to ride from behind in Moto 1. Looks like he's going to have to do it again, and Barcia's down.
Barcia loses the front end, one of those ruts, and he almost takes down his teammate Tomac. So more bad luck for the Geico boys. Tomac and Barcia are going to have to try to work their way back forward. And they just lost a spot to Rattray, who went by them.
Watch out the left side of your screen here on this replay. Here's your leader. Watch Barcia. He was already sliding the front wheel up in that area, so he lost traction. And they put quite a bit of water down in sections on the track here. It's really hard packing spots. Just got a little too aggressive there. Lost some traction with the front tire.
And Sipes holding his own here. Pushing Wilson's challenge aside. He's in the number 3 spot. And then, although there has been some bad luck for the 2 Geico Honda riders, the replacement rider, Lance Vincent, who is here racing in the spot of the injured Will Hahn and Blake Wharton, is in second place, so the number 245. So well done for Vincent.
I'm really interested to see what Dean Wilson could throw out here this moto. He's so determined to win. He's so frustrated that he hasn't won. This is the type of track, if you get overly aggressive, if you try too hard, your lap time will drop.
Well, trying too hard or hard enough is Sipes.
Will go up, sorry.
Sipes able to make the move on Lance Vincent. He puts the DNA Shred Sticks Star Racing Yamaha into the number 2 spot. Vincent 3rd, Wilson 4th.
It's a great ride for Vincent, though.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can keep it up. He's got a very long 29 minutes plus 2 laps ahead of him on what could be one of the most grueling tracks. Oh, and Vincent goes back into the second spot.
This has got to impress his bosses over there at Geico Honda, fighting back on Sipes, who is considered one of the favorites in this tour before the year began. Let's see if Sipes can work it around the outside.
The outside is working. Let's see if Vincent can shut it off. No, through the middle. Sipes still.
Whoa! They almost come together. Sipes able to secure second for the second time.
That is just amazing. Sipes, the distance, I mean, he probably went 20 or 30 feet farther around the outside there, but he was able to keep up the momentum and make the pass as it switched back to that right-hander.
Now, Sipes ended the Indoor Supercross Series winning the East-West Shootout, which made him a big favorite when this year began, but then a wrist injury at round 1, a back injury at round 2, knocked himself out at round 3, and look at Vincent! Comes back and takes the second spot away. That's the 3rd time they passed each other.
Triple up here before the finish, and Wilson's watching all this, and the biggest problem for Dean Wilson, who sets him 4th, is he's watching his teammate, Moto 1 winner Blake Baggett, start to inch away. Wilson has got to get aggressive right now. He's got to find some lines and make the move if he's going to have any chance at winning the overall here today.
Sipes wants to get back past Vincent. No room here. Now, I was watching in practice. We were going over the track map. His team manager was doodling some different lines down and where you can try to make passes on the track. But, Jeff, you know what it's like in these second motos. The lines that they have in practice, totally different by the time you're out here at this point of the day.
This track's not even the same.
So he's got to figure out his own way around Vincent as Wilson tries to figure his own way around Sipes. And like you said, Blake Baggett trying to pull away. Here it is. Sipes going to leap to the outside. He likes those wide lines. Not going to work that time.
Well, then Baggett just turned to 219. Vincent, Sipes, and Wilson all at 221s. And then Durham, who sets him 5th. Lap times go up from there.
These guys are all over each other. Wilson off the back of the bike, hooking up some traction out of that corner. Is Sipes going to get past Vincent again? It's going to be a long way around. And he makes it happen.
That is such a technical spot, but this outside is fast right here. Let's see if Vincent.
He does. He puts the power down.
And kind of slows up a little bit there, and did not allow.
Whoa! How did he get to the inside? Sipes had it. Oh, that slowed Sipes up. Here comes the 15 of Wilson all the way to the inside. Will he take 3rd? He does.
Nice move by Wilson. So now he's starting to put it down right now. Now he's got the drive on Vincent.
To the inside of his right-hander. Wilson hooks up. Vincent has shown he's not afraid to fight these guys. Look at that scrub as he tries to keep the bike low to the ground. One of the fastest sections of the track here.
Now he makes it stick. Finally, Wilson. Now what you do at this point is, well, Vincent may be back again.
This is unbelievable.
That's
Vincent,
his line.
Feet off the pegs. Manages to keep the bike on the low line of the inside. Where's he going to go here? Wilson hangs him out to try, up against the hay bales, and he does it again here in this corner. Wilson does not want this kid to get him back.
And he's got to drive down the inside. No. Okay, so Wilson now looks like he's going to solidify second. The leader is 5.9 seconds out that time around. Wilson pulls a tear off, try to catch your breath, try to let your heart rate go down, and make a charge for the win.
I gotta let my heart rate go down. Unbelievable racing. So much good stuff to do here in Colorado. Come join us in person next year. Speed's coverage of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship is brought to you by Lucas Oil. Made in America, sold to the world. By the 2011 Toyota Tundra, one of the most capable half-tons ever. And by RockyMountainMC.com, your one-stop shop for parts, apparel, and accessories. RockyMountainMC.com. Get ready. Watching Darren Durham here. The privateer has been so strong this year. He is in the number 6 spot, battling it out with the 19 of Eli Tomac. That's a factory Honda of Tomac and a privateer, an independent bike. Durham, and they battled like this in a couple of motos this year.
Yeah, they certainly have, but they haven't had to battle the elevation here in Colorado, where there's 18% less oxygen in the air. So every breath, you're getting less oxygen. Your heart has to work harder, your lungs have to work harder. You actually lose more moisture in your body. You perspire and it evaporates quicker. So late here in the second moto, physical conditioning and all that, it's tough, and it takes your body a while. You start acclimating soon, but it takes 15 to 20 days for your body to fully acclimate to this elevation. So the thought of that and you know, elevation training and all that, it's just out the window. Everyone's in the same boat here today. It's just pure desire and determination, and to see how hard you can try.
So that's Durham's 6th. And Rattray, your series leader, is 7th in Moto 1. Rattray went off the track early on, had to actually roll his bike backwards to get back off the bankment off the side to get back on the track. Lost a bunch of ground, was able to fight his way through late, but lost a bunch of points, and he's in position to do that, unfortunately, again here.
Yeah, and I spoke about what the athlete goes for, or goes through earlier, but for the motorcycle, these good bikes are 43, 45 horsepower, okay? There's close to an 8 horsepower loss when you bring it up to this elevation.
Wow.
So these bikes are down around 35 horsepower, 18% loss roughly just on elevation alone. But there's some other factors in there that you have to key in, and which can change it, and you can make these bikes a little bit better.
Look at this battle. Malcolm Stewart on the left, 139. Suzuki City ARMA-backed machine, and Kilbarger Racing, the number 42 of Nico Izzy. And it looks like Stewart might have the pass made. Izzy's in that outside line, which has worked before. Malcolm's going to hold him, though. So a nice run by Malcolm Stewart, who started the year off on fire. If you remember, he led the first lap of the year at our opener in Sacramento, California. A couple of rough races, but lately has been figuring out the consistency thing, and that's pretty good considering it's his first pro season.
Yeah, and he's been really good at times with some of his qualifying efforts. His starts haven't quite been there to allow him to run up front, but his effort has been there, because it seems like each moto, at this time in the moto, we start to see Malcolm picking off people and getting himself inside of the top 10, and he sets 8th now with that pass on Izzy.
And Nick Paluzzi is going to round out the top 10 right behind them. But Blake Baggett continues to pull away out front. So we'll focus in on this. The 139 of Stewart trying to get away from the 42 of Domenico Izzy. And you see Paluzzi on the Suzuki not too far back. Battles all over the place when you're watching the 250 class. That's what the fans come to see in AMA Pro Motocross. Eli Tomac cutting, slicing his way through traffic. He is now up to the number 3 spot with a pass on Ryan Sipes. He is someone who is used to riding here in the altitude because he is a Colorado native, and we talked to a bunch of these 250 riders about racing at altitude.
Track's definitely different. I mean, the elevation makes the bike a little bit slower, so do little things to the bike just to change it, compression, just do a little bit, change the rear sprocket, just try to get it so you got a little bit more pep to it instead of it lugging around the track. So just doing those little things to make it good, and go ahead and just do ripping around the laps.
Some small changes with the carburetor, but you know, we've gotten good horsepower at most of the races, and I feel like we have one of the best bikes on the track. So I think this weekend will be good, and these guys will have the bike working the way it needs to.
You know what? It's just one of those things where you just got to go around the corner, hold it wide open, lean back, and just give it all you can, because you know everybody's going to be down on horsepower, so you probably got to work with it all your ignition and stuff like that. But so far, I don't really know. I don't know how my bike's going to affect out here. Who knows? It might be great, you know?
We change a few things on the bikes, and it ends up working out all right. I mean, the bikes are still good, obviously, and then you just got to carry a little bit more speed to make up for the loss of power. But it's not only that. I mean, the physical, even walking out here, you can tell you're short of breath. So I think combination of the heat, the bikes being slower, it's a bit of a change, but we all do it, and we're all here racing.
Well, Tickle was here racing, but he's in the pits. Is Aaron down there with the report? What's happening with the number 20, Aaron?
Tough break for Brock Tickle. Brock, we're just witnessing some radiator fluid blast out of your machine. What went on out there?
Yeah, you know, it started out bad in the first corner. I kind of lost my front brake. I think I hit somebody, and we're just trying to salvage some points, and came into another guy and busted my radiator. So we're done for the day and ready for the next one already.
Tough break today, regroup. We'll see you at Redbud.
And just when it looked like Tickle was getting some momentum, starting to build on some that pretty good ride last week at Budds Creek, not to beat.
Tyler Rattray has had a tough go of it today. He is slowly working his way forward. He is on the 28, going after the 37 of Darren Durham in a battle for the top 5. And look at them crossing up over each other on these jumps. Be careful, guys.
Yeah, but I love Durham's style and what he's doing here. He really is flowing well with the bike. He's got some serious pressure by Tyler Rattray right here, who just seems to, it doesn't matter what track he's on, he just seems so consistently the same. And it's just, he's got this interesting style that he has, and he just seems so driven. I mean, it's crazy. He's quite the warrior also.
Well, the 250 class, normally you think of it as the young guys, a lot of, 19, 20-year-olds battling for it. Rattray a little bit older than that because he cut his teeth racing and winning championships in Europe, and he's putting that experience to work right now, going after Durham. He's holding the inside all the way around. This long left-hander. Durham will fight him for it.
Ooh, he falls right into the same line. That must be the one line that these guys like, and if you get outside of that one, you're going to lose some. Izzy's in the pits here.
Izzy was up in the top 10. Yes, he has been, and by the way, that has kind of been the way it works for Izzy this year. He's back out of the Makita Mechanics area, but he has been fast, much like Durham, on his privateer bike. But the difference is Durham has been able to log a couple of consistent finishes. Izzy seems to have something like that happen almost every race. Crash or mechanical problem, it's just been tough.
Yeah, now the Makita Mechanics area is just after the finish line. Last lap around, Izzy turned a 244, which was about 20 or 25 seconds slower than what he's capable of. So something happened on that lap.
Hopefully they got it fixed. As for Rattray, that red plate will presumably go away after today because Dean Wilson might not be leading this moto, but he's in second. And with Rattray back in 5th, Wilson will make up more points. Wilson was only 4 points behind Rattray coming in. So Wilson, for the second time this year, could be the points leader when this day is over. But see the countdown clock, top of the screen? Still got a long way to go.
Boy, there is 11 minutes plus 2 laps, and it's going to be the toughest part of the day.
So Tyler Rattray going to try to move forward and salvage something after a pair of bad starts this weekend. And we'll see, meanwhile, if Blake Baggett can hold on to win it. Hey, we're less than a month away of the debut of the car show. Adam Carolla bringing his serious love of cars and serious funny point of view to speed. And this show, with Adam Carolla hosting, you can guarantee no subject is off limits. The car show premieres July 13th, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on Speed. We're checking out the 17 of Justin Barcia, and the reason why? Well, he had a good start in this moto, but he has run into some bad luck. He had a crash, and just trying to recover from that right now.
Yeah, this is after the whole shot. Watch this here. Barcia comes down. This is just through the Makita Mechanics area. He goes down 2 motos in a row, and that's frustrating. He's fighting an illness. He's trying so hard. But also, when he was lifted up his bike, there was quite a bit of the coolant was dripping out of the bottom of this Honda. So he possibly, when he went down, he could have bent one of the radiators. And those things are really fragile. You bend it a little bit. If it got a crack in it, lose some fluid. 9 minutes plus 2 laps. We're going to have to see if this thing's going to make it all the way.
Well, Barcia doesn't really rev his bike out that hard. He's very easy on equipment. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Nobody is harder on an engine
than
Barcia.
That's what everybody says. Yeah.
He has dropped back to outside of the top 10. I believe Paluzzi and Baker got by him. We'll update you the next time they come around. If you look at the top of the screen, you're seeing the event points as far as the overall win, and it would clearly be Baggett's if he wins both motos. That makes the math very easy on mathematically challenged folks like us. Although, Jeff, you were pretty good with the equations as far as altitude goes. And you were talking earlier, it's not just for 6,100 feet, but the weather then plays in as we're watching Cunningham and Baker battling for 10th. That's in front of Barcia.
Yeah, because there is what's called corrected altitude, and that's based off of the air density, barometric pressure, some other things, and the teams will use a handheld weather station to figure that out. Now today, the weather is hot and dry, and it's not very good, so it is right there at 6,100 feet above sea level.
Let's show some other guys here. 152, Scott Champion battling it out with the 533. That would be Gannon Audette, and you also got Alex Martin there on the 46. So that's a good battle just inside the top 15.
Audet is actually a lap down. He's shown in 35th right now, so he pulled out of the way, let this race go on. And unfortunately, as I look at timing and scoring, Lance Vincent, who was so hot at the beginning of this moto, has now dropped to 36th.
Wow. Is it possible, as we look at Scott Champion here in the 152, trying to hold off Martin? That is for 14th, 15th. Hunter Clements, the 93 next, and it's Seeley, Les Smith, Dakota Tedder, and Nico Izzy back at the track at 20th. So watching these guys. Look at Alex Martin trying to outside out Champion.
Both of these riders have really had, oh, there it is. There's the pass. Martin takes, that's going to be 14th away. But both of these riders have had great seasons. They've shown tremendous speed at times. You know, consistency hasn't quite been as they would like, but overall, great effort by these two guys.
There's Hunter Clements there in the 93, followed by Cole Seeley. Seeley in the Lucas Oil. Troy Lee Honda is up and down. Some of the motos he's up front. Some of the motos he's back here. Certainly doesn't want to be outside the top 15. Seeley's a guy that can maybe get podiums or even wins in these races.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're going to get up there and compete with a guy like Baggett, Wilson, Rattray, who have been consistently up front, that's why they're in the front of the points. You got to do it every week, and then that breeds your confidence, and then you start to believe, okay, I do belong up here. But when you set yourself back with a bad start, and I don't know exactly what happened, he could have gone down on the first lap or whatever, that's why the start becomes so important. And week after week, you hear me talk about get a good start, get in a good position off the start, all of that stuff. It just really sets the tone for the day.
Now, how about this guy, Les Smith, rode a Honda Supercross, didn't have a ride for outdoor. Well, had a ride with the Kawasaki team that didn't make it to the races. Then got a ride with the Joe Gibbs Racing Yamaha team in the 450 class for a few weeks, filling in for Justin Brayton. Brayton's back, so now he's picked up a ride with Rockstar Suzuki in the 250 class. That's 4 brands of bikes in about a month and a half of time. That's tough to do. That's what you got to do to make a living sometime in this sport. Some people enjoying the altitude, or maybe not, right now in Colorado. Speed's coverage of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, #1 in motorcycle insurance. Blake Baggett continues to lead, and we were running the El Chupacabra nickname for him for the way he was sneaking up on people when they were tired, and he was slashing his way to the front. But that doesn't really fit in this moto because he just had a good start and took the lead early.
Yeah, and you talk about insurance. His little insurance policy that he has right now is an 11-second lead over Dean Wilson for the overall here today. Now, Baggett just turned to 220, and we're going to see if Wilson closes that gap again, because the last couple laps, Wilson has held a better lap time and closed it up. Wilson comes by with a 2:21 last lap around, so he lost some time.
We're going to show you how this race started with our progressive whole shot replay. Take us through this one, Jeff.
Yeah, look for the Geico Honda 17 coming from just inside of the box there, and he's leaning on, this is Justin Marcia leaning on, looks like Lance Vincent, who was there on the inside also. A couple of PC guys are all pushing wide. You got Durham in there. Everybody makes it through pretty clean that time.
But Baggett was about, third, fourth, the first couple of turns. That's pretty good for him. We haven't really seen him have lightning speed out of the gate. It's been the second half of the motos where he's done a lot of his damage. But is this bad news if this guy starts figuring out how to lead from the start?
It's bad news unless you're
like
unless your last name is Baggett.
Okay, yeah,
then it's great news.
Like
or Peyton. Peyton would be a good one there.
Let's send it down to the McKenna Mechanics there. Aaron, who do you have?
The Geico Honda rider, Blake Warren himself. Blake, you're sitting on the sidelines watching this all take place right now, but you just had your surgery. When can we expect to see you back racing?
I don't know yet. I want to give it some time. These things take time to heal, and so when I do come back, I want to be 100%.
How is the shoulder?
What was that?
How is your shoulder?
They're good. I'm not using it too much. No heavy lifting, no baseball, so I'm doing good.
What do you think of the championship that's taking place out there, having your contenders race on the sideline?
It looks good. They're always good. A lot of racing, a lot of competition. I wanted to come out here, watch it. I know it would be good, and soon I'll be out there.
Hey, good to see you heal up. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
I think Blake had to have surgery on both shoulders, and they don't like to do that at the same time. So he gets one surgery, recovers, and gets another one. So it, like he said, it might be a while. He wants to heal up. Blake Baggett, meanwhile,
looking over his shoulder, which both are healthy.
Yes.
And he's seen Dean Wilson 12 seconds back. So
he's
Justin good, right?
Justin Barsha had a crash in this one, and he's still fighting. although definitely doesn't have the same spirit that he did early in this one. Now remember, this kid is riding with Moto, and then he's had some crashes, some hard laps. There he is behind Martin Davalos. They're about 11th and 12th they're battling for right now.
Yeah, but what a good ride here for Davalos.
Yeah.
Rockstar Suzuki had that issue with the bike. The official word was it was a small problem. That's all we could get out of the team owner, but something that they fixed, and he actually made it back out onto the track for Moto 1 after a few laps off. But it's tough for a rider like Martin here to miss a majority of that moto and then to have to get back in your rhythm again in the second moto. But he's close to a top 10. If he can pick it up, he could pick off Travis Baker, who has that 10th spot.
This Rockstar Suzuki team really trying to build a program. This is their first year as Suzuki's official factory 250 effort. Kind of like how the Monster Pro Circuit team is Kawasaki's official 250 race team. And Geico Honda is Honda's official 250 race team. But those teams have been at this for a long time. 20 years in the case of the Kawasaki boys, about 15 in the case of the Honda boys. Year one for this effort.
Yeah, and they have chosen some great riders for the team, and certainly we all expected the results to be better. Even the riders would say that.
Yeah.
There's just been something about it this year. This team has just had setback after setback, and the injury to Ian Treadle, and just the energy of the team just needs to be reset, and they can come back next year and challenge for some wins.
Well, they brought in a new team manager for motocross this year, Dave Gowan, who was ran Kawasaki's very successful amateur program for a long time. So he's going to try to build this program from the ground up and maybe be up there with the green, the blue, and the red bikes by the time this year is up. Stay with us. This July, baseball's biggest stars gather together in the Arizona desert for one spectacular night. It's summer's biggest event. And Fox is going to bring you every thrilling moment. It's the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox. Blake Baggett continues to lead here, and the gap has stabilized between himself and Dean Wilson, but he's got some lap traffic to fight through.
And he is close to lapping the top 20. Is Swanepoel there, 387 on the Yamaha. He's in 23rd. Sipes is 22nd. So now that's put a lap down.
We're talking about the dominance of this PC team all year. Aaron Bates, what are you hearing on that squad?
Bones Bacon, the suspension tech over at the Pro Circuit Kawasaki, informed me in between motos that the whole team, minus Blake Baggett, changed their front tire. The track seems to be changing throughout the day, especially since practice earlier. It is starting to get more hard packed, so they opted to go with a taller, knobby tire, better grip for the hard packed areas. Tire that's smaller, a little less footprint, a little bit lighter. Blake Baggett, he kept with the same tire he rode during Moto 1, and so far it seems to be paying off.
Yeah, that tire is in the same position it was in Moto 1, in the lead.
Yeah, it's it is the actual tip of the lead of the race right there.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, riders have a lot of different choices. Some riders get a feel for different tires, and different riders like different things. And you can see here today what Aaron was talking about, a taller but narrower tire. When you get into these grooves, you want that thing to be like a pizza cutter, right? Like a razor. Okay. If it's wide and flat, then the edges will grab onto those ruts and try to climb the rut. But if it's like that pizza cutter, then it just slices right down through the rut and just goes straight through there, and that's what you want to keep your momentum.
What's also impressive about Baggett, he was injured last year at our previous race in Budds Creek, Maryland, broke his upper arm. As we say, there was nothing humorous about a broken humerus. He was not able to race here in Colorado, and that was his first year as a pro, so he has never raced a pro national at this track. You wouldn't know it. Seems to have this thing pretty well dialed in.
Yeah, he's trying to make his way right here around Renner. There, they were both fighting for that outside line. But look at how,
and he's down. Baggett is down. He's got to get up quick. Did he stall the bike? Now the gap was 11 seconds. Oh, he lucked out. The bike stayed running.
Woo! Yeah, no doubt his mechanic there got the word that he went down. He had an 11-second lead last time around, and he tipped over. That was only 3 or 4 seconds. Let's see, it was a 2:21 last lap. This time, with 1 to go, he comes around 2:27, so about a 6-second fall. Same place Barsha went down earlier in the moto on lap 1, I believe it was. Same fall, same thing. They both kept it going, lost a little bit of time.
Seems to me he needed to switch front tires and use that wider front tire.
And this is Yeah, in that situation, in the conditions where the soil was there, oh man, bad choices. What can you say?
Hey, if he wins the Moto, still a pretty good choice. And the lead is 6.6 seconds now over Wilson. And there's only one lap to go. So I think Baggett's in pretty good shape to hold it, especially the way he's been so strong closing these races this year. There is Wilson. Now, we had a 450 race earlier today, and we were talking about how Ryan Dungey had been so strong in almost every race this year, but had not been able to break through and get an overall win. Same story for Dean Wilson. He's actually going to leave today, we believe, as the series points leader. Yet, no overall wins through what would be 5 rounds if it ends like this.
Yeah,
so
Dean,
mixed bag.
Yeah, Dean has not had any major setbacks. He's been consistently strong. He's been so close. Dean wants to win, though.
Yeah.
And especially when it's your teammate out front, you do not want to give that up. And so both these riders they're just going to keep duking it out. No doubt right now for Blake Baggett. Heart rate's probably a little bit up right now. He needs to focus on this last lap and not make any mistakes. Just settle down a little bit. He's still got a nice cushion over Dean Wilson.
Now, Wilson and Rattray went through the championship battle last year. Baggett has never gone through a full season. As we mentioned, he was injured last season. Is there anything about racing week to week and experience that he might lack compared to the other guys he's battling for the title?
Right now, it is week to week. And once you start to get closer to this final round in Pala in California, where the #1 plate starts to become in focus for you.
Yeah.
That's when you start thinking ahead, and that's when you have to rely upon all the people around you, the experience and their advice to help coach you through it. Every great athlete has a great coach that has helped them get there. And no doubt Blake Baggett has got 2 of the best, if not more, helping him.
Yeah, except the other guys battling for the title are the same guys. Checkered flag is out. Blake Baggett dominates here in Denver. And that's a statement win. This time he's able to prove he can do it with the start. Normally he's been coming from behind. Now he's been able to do it in every way possible. A strong run by Dean Wilson. He will take over the points lead, but once again be denied an overall win. 5 seconds, the final margin of victory, and a big gap back to third. It has been Eli Tomac, and it will be Eli Tomac finishing in the #3 spot. What do you think? Is this what this kid wants right now?
Well, it's not what he wants, but it's something to build on. He's got to be happy with it, but it was 28 seconds off the lead there in the second moto. And look at this guy. He looks like he hadn't even been riding.
Not even worried at all. We'll talk to our race winner when we return. We are back. Celebration for Blake Baggett on the right. There's his dad on the left, his trainer, Alden Baker. There in the middle, Kawasaki PR girl Ashley Little telling him to go to the podium and celebrate this one. Lucas Oil race recap will allow us to show you how Blake Baggett ended up with the win today. Early on, making headlines, the 245 of Lance Vincent. This kid, not intimidated, going after Dean Wilson, who is now your championship series leader. Vincent doesn't care about that. He fought him hard. Unfortunately, would run into problems later in the moto. More problems for others, such as Brock Tickle. He was out. Nico Izzy was in and out of the pits with trouble. Izzy would rebound to finish 15th. And Justin Barsha had a couple of crashes in this one, including this tumble right in front of the Makita Mechanics area. Barsha would hold on and finish 12th. Up front, meanwhile, no problems for Blake Baggett until this, with 2 laps to go. Luckily, the bike did not stall. He got it back up and going, and he would hold on to win again his 3rd overall victory this year. He's won round 1, round 3, round 5. So by that math, he'll struggle at round 6 and then dominate round 7, right?
Something like that.
Okay. Meanwhile, Blake Baggett, I believe, is on the podium with Aaron. Aaron, let's hear it.
You guys are laughing about it. We were actually just having a laugh about that as well. Blake, what a performance it was for you today. But you were the one guy on the team that actually didn't change up that tire. And 2 laps to go, you slid out. Was there any point in time where you were thinking, I wished I may have changed that tire?
Definitely. You know, track just is so hard packed, and then the top of the ruts are muddy. So the tires just get wore out really fast, and tires started to fade away. And the last few laps, it was just really sketchy. But without Dunlop, you know, we wouldn't be able to be out here. And my team, Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Vans, Traxxas, Volcom, Vans, my mom, my dad, my trainer, Alden Baker, my girlfriend, and Brian Wilkinson, too. Thanks.
Congratulations on your 3rd overall this season.
It's like a road racer there. Got to manage the front tire. it wears out throughout the race. Next up, that round 6 we mentioned will be Redbud in Buchanan, Michigan. Just outside of South Bend, Indiana. We'll have the 250 class coverage on Speed next week at 9 p.m. Eastern. Weekend off, we'll go to Millville, Minnesota. Speed's 250 coverage at 6 p.m. Eastern there. Then it's Washougal, Washington, live on Speed at 8 p.m. Eastern. A couple weeks off, and we'll go to Unadilla in New Berlin, New York. Speed's coverage at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's your Toyota moving forward schedule, as these fans hopefully will be able to make a pilgrimage and check out Blake Baggett at a few other rounds of this Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. Blake Baggett has got his 3rd win of the year and is starting to close in once again on the points lead. We'll see if he can keep it up next week. Speed's coverage of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship is brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world, and by the 2011 Toyota Tundra, one of the most capable half-tons ever. Welcome back to Lakewood, Colorado. We have completed the second 250 class moto today of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. We will show you the results. Kawasaki boys dominated again. They go 1-2. Blake Baggett and Dean Wilson in this one. Baggett, that's big though. It's going to give him the overall win, but more on that later. Eli Tomac, 3rd. He's on the podium, that's good, but I think at the beginning of the year he would have liked to have been running up front with Baggett and Wilson, so he probably won't be satisfied until he's there. Nice bounce back for Ryan Sipes after some bad luck early in the year. Malcolm Stewart, Travis Baker, strong rides in the top 10. Let's send it back down to Aaron.
Dean Wilson very satisfied about that start. Dean, you're in the points lead heading into Redbud next week, which is the halfway point. You've never been in this position before. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm really happy. You know, I worked hard today. 2-2, I mean, it's a brilliant day. I 1-1 would be awesome, of course, but no, I mean, I'm really happy. You know, track was really, really rough, and it was tough out there. I mean, the sun was in our eyes a little bit, and it was really tough. Blake rode he rode amazing today, and yeah, I mean, I felt good that second moto. Just had a couple problems trying to get by the first 2 guys, and but no, I mean, I felt like I rode a good race, and I'm happy to have the points lead, and just couldn't do it without everybody that's helped me at Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Dunlop, Parts Unlimited, boys at Toyota Escondido, my mom and dad, Scott Goggles, anybody I might have forgot, thank you so much.
Now we'll do the math from Moto 1 and Moto 2, combine them for our overall results here from Colorado. Easy math for Baggett and Wilson, and really Tomac. Darren Durham, a great job for 4th overall, but Tyler Rattray, there is the damage. 5-5 is decent, but he lost a lot of points. Let's send it back down to Aaron on the podium.
Eli Tomac won his bet. He made it up here onto the podium, which means you get a rental car upgrade next weekend. Eli, what are you smiling more about, the podium or the car?
Obviously the podium, but it'll be nice to roll the Redbud in a caddy. But yeah, I had a lot of fun out there, except on the starts. You know, the track had a lot of good lines. Made for good racing and good passing, and it was definitely a physical one too.
Congratulations on making it up in the box in front of your family and friends.
We'll see if that's something Tomac can build on. You see where he is in the points. He has been solid this year, but not able to match the blistering pace that those Kawasaki boys have set out front, and that's why they are 1, 2, 3 in points. Have a look. Wilson now upends Rattray to take the lead. Baggett back by only 20. That means it's within striking distance. And really 38 points for Tomac. If he gets hot, he could do it. His teammate Trey Kennard did it to win the title last year, Jeff.
Yeah, and the riders really took the hit right here. Justin Barsha and Cunningham, they lost a lot of points today.
Let's send it down to Aaron one more time with Darren Durham.
Darren Durham, 6th place overall today. Darren, you're so close to that dream, but every weekend getting stronger and stronger. What's making the biggest difference for you?
Yeah, I've just been working hard, and I'm not sure what I got overall, but I'm, you know, trying to get up on that podium before the end of the season. You know, I just want to thank all my sponsors, 1110 Mods, Volcom, Renegade, FMF, PR2, Morgantown, Dunlop, Kicker, Total Image, and, you know, anyone I forgot. Thank you. DVS.
All right, this race is over. Here's how you're going to get results. Fuel your passion for motorcycle racing. It's the Speed Motorcycle Text Alerts. Powered by Yamaha, you'll get the latest motor racing results and breaking news as soon as they become available, sent right to your phone. So simple. Just text MOTO to Speed 3 for the alerts now. That's going to do it here from Colorado, but this series keeps on rolling, and we will be at Redbud for July 4th weekend. This is one of the most spectacular races on the tour. The biggest jump in the series, Larocco's Leap. Quite possibly the biggest crowd. Why not? It's a holiday weekend, so join us on Speed if you can't join us in person. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks to you for joining us. And we're watching some domination of the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. The question is, which one of those riders will be holding the plate at the end of the year? Just going to have to keep on tuning in. Congrats to our winner today, though, Blake Baggett.